The guy who owned the Pizza Hut chain that delivered the pizza to Michael Jordan the night before said flu game, which turned into food poisoning game, he came out and said that it was 1,000% not poisoned, and he didn't even have 5 employees to deliver the food to begin with. It was him and one other employee. 2 employees delivered Pizza Hut, which, by the way, I'm off of. I'm not bad.
Whoa.
I still like Pizza Hut. I still think their wings deserve a lot more credit than they actually get. They're a bit inconsistent because there is a chance that they're potentially poisoned. But said guy over there said the one that Michael Jordan got in the story that was told on The Last Dance was not accurate. And I would like to say nobody knew it was this guy's fucking Pizza Hut. Nobody knew that this guy was involved in it. Michael Jordan and the boys were telling the story as they recalled it. And this guy decided to throw his name out there to be the guy. I am the person that delivered the pizza that got Michael Jordan sick. And I want to let you know that it was not on purpose. We did not poison it. And because I would assume that he's gone around to his friends and his family, and he said, hey, delivered a pizza to Michael Jordan last night. Hey, I remember me and blah, blah, blah. We delivered a pizza to Michael Jordan. It was him and his boys. They were having a lot of fun. Michael actually spit on the pizza so nobody else could eat it because he thought it was so good. That guy's been telling that story for so long that when The Last Dance came out on Sunday night, nobody had a worse Sunday night than that guy. Nobody had a worse Sunday night than that guy. All his friends, all his family, who he's been telling his story to for years, sending texts like, oh, you tried to kill him. You tried to kill him. And he had to come out. He's like, I did not. What do you believe? Do you think Michael Jordan was poisoned by this pizza? Do you think that was a lie? Or do you think this guy coming out is just trying to save his ass for a lie that he told long ago?
So you got to break it down for me. How would the guy know he was delivering pizza to Michael Jordan's room?
So I asked that question immediately upon watching The Last Dance. I would assume that maybe he used his name, which wouldn't make sense because they check in a hotel.
He didn't call it in, though. He had like 4 guys in the room with him. His trainers, everyone was there. They ordered the pizza for him.
I don't know. I have no idea how.
That's why I don't think it was intentionally poisoned. Did he get food, or did he get sick because of something that may have been like an old ingredient on there? Possibly. I don't think it was like directly poison for him to try to make him sick for that game.
This might sound egregious, but were you able to take your credit card over phone in the late 90s?
I was going to say, in 98, I don't think so. I think it was probably cash.
Probably a cash deal. So unless they knew that who his trainer was and his trainer's name, that would be a hell of a in-depth thing because I didn't even know that son of a bitch existed.
Even if there was credit card over the phone back then, Pat, I guarantee you, well, first off, they weren't using Jordan's credit card. You think Tim Grover, his workout guy, is like, it's Jordan, first initial M, and then he reads off the numbers to the card. That's not happening.
Yeah, it's interesting. That was the first question. Then we got past it and just act like it was normal. And then my follow-up question now is, do you think this guy who's told this story for all these years got his reputation fucking ruined on The Last Dance on ESPN and didn't even see it coming? That guy had his jaw sitting out like this, and he was just like, I can't wait to watch what they do for the flu game. I saw Michael less than 24 hours before that. We were good friends. He spit on the pizza. He said it looked so good, blah, blah, blah. And then wham! They poisoned me. They tried to kill me. What a scene.
Yeah, did Jordan always have like his little core group of guys around him, like his couple security guys, his workout dude? Are they just in his hotel rooms at all times?
And in the locker room, it's not like he had his own area with his people around him. That'd be kind of interesting. It's Michael Jordan, obviously. Michael Jordan can do whatever he wants. But I've never seen anything like it. Like even with Peyton, who is obviously one of the most famous people of all time, he might have had his own office somewhere in the building that none of us knew about. But there was no obvious separation. Michael Jordan was living in his own world with his own people. You didn't hear a lot of teammates talk about hanging out with him. It was a lot of his people talk about hanging out. Very, very interesting life that he had to live because of, I assume everybody on earth knew who the hell he was. So he had to change immediately. But that was interesting. In the locker room, in his own area, in his hotel room right after they win, it's a bunch of media, him on a piano. This is that Zen Buddhism shit. You know what I mean? You got to enjoy the moment. I was looking around. I was like, I didn't see any of his teammates in there. It was kind of I just didn't fully understand, I don't think. He's
I think people, that's not normal. Like Jordan, obviously, he's on a different planet than everybody else. But I came in, Brett Favre was there. He'd been there for 14 years in Green Bay or something at the time. People always said Brett had like his own locker room. No, he didn't. He had a normal locker in the locker room like everybody else. But then he could go back and change in there was like an auxiliary coaches room for some assistant coaches. He could change there if he needed to get away from the media or whatever, but he didn't have his own people there. He didn't have his own security there. Like the team has security and all that, but not many people have their own guys that are with them that are separate from the team. The closest I can think of is when Tom Brady had his Guerrero dude when he was in the facility and he was going to away games. When I heard he was on the team flight, I was like, geez, I've never seen that. I've never been anywhere where a player can bring someone from outside of the team with them on all their trips.
Well, and the NFL is so hard-headed, too. It's like, no, our people are the best. You don't need your people. Our trainers, We pay our trainers. We have our physical therapists. We have our nutritionists. We don't need yours. So the fact that Guerrero got in there, and then people were talking about how it was contentious between Belichick and Guerrero. I was like, well, I could see that. I mean, I don't know if – because I know that some of the TB12 people would come to Indianapolis and work on some of the players in Indianapolis at their homes or whatever. And there was always a conversation of like, can they just do this at the facility after practice or whatever? And the conversation always ended with the answer, no, they cannot be in here. They cannot do whatever. And then whenever TB12 bought their own thing up there in Massachusetts and then they got linked up with the Patriots, that's when guys stopped traveling and stuff like that. But it was always, you're 100% right. Dwight Freeney, before the Super Bowl my rookie year, he was coming off either a sprained ankle or a broken ankle or something. Nobody was expecting him to play. He had his, and they wore gis. Gis, like karate.
What?
Like karate gis. They were like these body guru type guys. And they wore gis. They were in the training room and in the hotel trying to work on him. All systems were go to try to get Dwight Freeney back for the Super Bowl. And it was becoming a story about how he hadn't practiced and how will Dwight Freeney play and all this stuff. He couldn't even walk like the day before the game. Goes out, gets a sack in the Super Bowl. He hits a spin move on somebody. Next level. But they had guys in gis. There was like my third or fourth time seeing them because these were Dwight Freeney's like dudes. I saw him get on a plane one time. I was in front of him. Full gi behind me. Full gi behind me. By the way, I wasn't first class flying in front of them, but they were body gurus and they like figuring out exercises. They were the only people I remember of my entire time. And it was because it was a crazy circumstance where Dwight Freeney was trying to get back for the Super Bowl. That was the only time I ever saw somebody outside the Colts organization, inside the Colts building, working on people. Because that is something that is very, very tight. And that Last Dance thing, I was very intrigued by all that as well.
Were these body gurus, were they wearing black belts with their gis?
No, blue. I think they were blue belts.
Wow. What do you have to do? Well, they definitely were elevated to black belt after they got Freeney healthy enough to play in the Super Bowl.
Well,
right?
I think to get a black belt, though, you got to get beat in, right? Like I've seen when people get black belt, you got to walk by and everybody in the dojo hits you with the belt. You know what I mean? So I don't think you just float with a sprained ankle healing right to black belt. But they had blue belts on, I think.
But the question is, why are they wearing gis?
That was something I asked too. But
is Dwight rolling? Are they laying mats out and they're doing some jiu-jitsu in between?
I saw zero jiu-jitsu, but I did see gis, and I still to this day don't know. And Dwight Freeney has been on our show before, and he'll be on our show again. That'll be one that I hope his brain remembers to ask about, or somebody in the room, because I feel like they were doing something really special. I almost wanted to get gied up myself. You know what I mean? I was like, is there any way I could potentially get a gi? Maybe I get into the room here where all the people are that seem to be very, very important to this operation. But he got back.
I'm going to order you one. I sent you that box of cigars. The next thing coming, I might send you a gi.
Well, I am an orange belt.
What? Are you serious?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. In what?
The arts.
What?
Martial.
Oh my.
Ever heard of it?
Oh no!
With a cigar.
With the cigar.
With a cigar. People are saying my rear naked choke is one of the best, and I have clothes on.
Look good, feel good. Feel good, play good.
Play good, pay good, pay good, live good, die good.